Welcome to Tactical Reviews for a look at the new Wiley X Trek, a model with a special feature, which is that it has removable side shields that turns its more classic flat fronted design into a full specification safety glass. So we'll take a look at that much more closely. Also, just to note that in this case this model is fitted with the Captivate lens. You don't have to pick that, that's the top of the range lens. There are some other lens choices available. Well, let's take a look at what we've got. So, a very typical Wiley X case, nice zip up case, and in here we have a few extra pieces. So this is a neckband that you can fit if you want to wear that type of thing. We have the glasses in a combined cleaning cloth and cloth bag, and as well we have an extra mini bag. So what's the purpose of this? Well, I mentioned that there are these extra side shields, and this little bag, which actually has two separate pouches in it to keep them safe from each other, has the two removable side shields. More on that in detail later. And on to the glasses. So as I say, this is the Captivate version, so the cloth bag has that as well. And what we have here is a design, most of, or almost all Wiley X glasses tend to be a curved design which brings protection all the way around the side of the eyes. But in order to provide a more sort of classic, slightly flatter front design of glass, and yet not give up on that amazing feature with Wiley X that you know they are all safety glasses. I say that, hope that is no exception, but certainly all the models I've ever used are up to that full safety standard. There's also an option to fit some side shields. We're going to come in really close and look at the fitting and removal of those. So here we have a very nice classic looking design. Time for a closer look. So we're just going to go around a few of the closer details here so you can see Captivate at the bottom of the lens there, indicating these are the top spec lenses, or at least certainly the highest performing. We have a fixed nose with little rubber pads. We'll come back to these details in the arm, which are to do with the side shields. Absolutely filled with information. So we've got the safety specification next to Wiley X, and we also have the sizing dimension printed on them, which is really useful. Okay, let's look at those side shields. Supplied with the Trek are actually two different versions of the side shield. There's a type that this bag here has, which are called the permanent version, and those you can tell it's the permanent one because there's a little hole in the tabs where it fits in. We'll see what that does later. And then the temporary version, where that same piece is actually solid, there's no hole. However, I did find a little issue and something that might be worth doing a little adjustment before you use the temporary ones, because as I discovered, they became a little bit more permanent than I would have liked. So what we'll do is go through the fitting and removal into the arm now, and you'll see why. So initially I'm going to use the permanent version, but minus, in the bag there's a little pin that you use to secure them. So I'm going to put those aside, we're not going to use those, but you would fit those if you want the permanent version of the side shield. So just get the matching pair. So these are both what they term permanent. And to fit these, the little features we need to look out for, there's a small recess here, there's a little hole, and under the arm is a slot. And with the correct side shield, which is going to end up in this position, you fit the little end tab into the arm and rotate the shield into place. Now this is where, if you were going to fit the permanent pin, you would press that in there, and same the other side to get the matching pair. So you can see here, this is the permanent one, and the left and right indicated. So what I'm going to do, so we're not going to fit that little pin. I'm now going to show you with the what are termed temporary ones, what I had to do to make them removable again. So inside this tab has a little post. Now, just about that angle, hopefully you can see that there's a slight angle to the bottom surface of that post. Now I added that because it was a much flatter bottom, and when that was inserted I could not remove it. In fact, I actually had to use a scalpel to make that adjustment while it was in the arm. So with this being the temporary one, again fit the rotating part and bring this into place. Now unlike the permanent ones, this one now has some resistance, and you need to press that to click it in place, and you can see the little retaining post inside there, and that now, even with my adjustment, is firmly fitted. And then this one now needs a two-handed grip and a firm pull, rotating around this pivot point to take it out of the arm. So these are my adjusted temporary version. Click that side in and fit the other side, and I actually made the adjustment before even fitting this one for the first time. So with the two side shields in place, another little thing just to be aware is that now they come into play when you're folding, and I found a couple of options depending on your preference. You can either flex the arm slightly and put it inside and then fold the other arm down, or if you leave it sitting on top, then as you start to fold it, there's a little bit of interference there that makes the arm bend, and then they can fold that way as well. So that's going to be sort of personal preference, which way round you want to go. And then removing both of those. Back to the bare glasses. Thank you for joining me to take a look at the Wiley X Trek with removable side shields to bring the safety specs up. And remember, get informed, be prepared, stay sharp.